Let's be real, nothing stings more than pouring hours into Dragon Ball Sparking Zero day after day, only to feel like you're still not seeing any improvement in your play. You try your best to watch tutorial videos and apply things, but nothing seems to grant you the instant growth that you want. So let's cut straight to the point and be honest with yourself. You suck. But what if I told you I know the reason why? You see, there is one thing you're missing in your play that will take you from zero to hero that many players and tutorial videos aren't talking about at the moment, and that's ki management. To give a little context, in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, you're fighting against the system mechanics a lot more than you're fighting against the characters. This is because the game's mechanics like Perception, Super Counter, Dragon Dash, and Vanish are all extremely abused by players worldwide, so you're constantly fighting against them. However, a lot of the solutions to beating those mechanics involve using your ki. You have to use Ki Blast to beat Perception, you have to have more ki than your opponent in order to win Vanish Wars, Super Counters literally cause Vanish Wars, and even if you sidestep punish Dragon Dashes, your opponent can Perception or Super Counter in the middle of your combos, making you have to eventually use your ki. So in summary, having more ki than the opponent is the secret win condition in Sparking Zero, because not only do you need ki to beat all of the mechanics, but in order to win Vanish Wars, you need to have more ki than the opponent. So a lot of your decision making within the match involves you looking at your ki before you make a decision. While there are a few characters in this game who have skills that increase their ki, for the sake of this video, I'll just explain the fundamental ki management strategies you need to adopt in order to instantly start playing Sparking Zero the right way and not suck anymore. The first tip I want to share is that you shouldn't engage the opponent if they have more ki than you. A lot of people like to approach their opponents with no thought whatsoever other than they just want to kill them. This will only end up getting you killed more often than not, because even if you do manage to get a hit on the opponent, they can super counter out of your combo to start a Vanish War. Remember, if you don't have more ki than your opponent, you will always lose Vanish Wars, and it will lead to you taking more damage. So you're basically putting yourself in a trap. If you're going to engage, just do it when you have more ki than your opponent. The second tip I want to provide is to use Sonic Sway on defense when the opponent has more ki than you do. If you use Super Perception at the exact moment an opponent's rush attack lands, you will trigger the Sonic Sway. The benefit of doing this is that Sonic Sway reduces the opponent's ki, giving you a potential edge in the ki war. The third tip that is super important to note is that you should switch to another character mid-fight if your ki is way below your opponent's. The reasoning for this is because your next character will jump in with a lot more ki than your previous, putting you almost back on track. If your opponent has way more ki than you do, it's not really smart to charge up your ki to catch up, as that will take a very long time. Important to note that if you can't switch characters at the moment, play more calm, and if the opponent approaches you, just keep mashing the block button to block in different directions while also reacting to throws with the block button. Playing defensively when you have less ki than the opponent will buy you time until an opportunity comes where you can get more ki. The other tip I want to provide is to only really charge your ki for a long time if you have more ki than the opponent. Sure, the opponent can Dragon Dash behind you and go for a punish, but you can always super counter in the middle of their combo and get a guaranteed Vanish War win afterward. So the situation favors you more than the opponent. If you have less ki than your opponent, only charge your ki for short times to get up to 1 bar so that the opponent won't catch you slipping. The last tip I wanted to share with you all is to not use super attacks after combos unless your opponent has nearly empty ki. I know it can seem tempting to use super attacks, but there is a chance that the opponent can dodge it in time, causing you to waste your ki. It's better to do a simple combo from rush and smash attacks, then use supers to finish the combo if the opponent has almost empty ki. If you happen to miss it, at least the opponent doesn't have a lot of ki. Taking all of these tips in mind, it's important to learn how to super counter so that when you have the ki advantage and you're put on defense, when you use super counter, you're able to start a Vanish War that you will basically automatically win. If you guys followed these tips and learn all of them, I promise you, you will be a very, very strong Sparking Zero player already making up to the A rings, the S rings, the Z rings, or whatever. All of these tips are very, very important. Ki management is a very core part of this game, and if you do not understand it, you're going to have a very difficult time improving, and you're just going to be stuck in a huge plateau. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider following and subscribing to me for more Sparking Zero content and guides. Appreciate you guys a lot for watching. Have a good day.